For about $360 US, you can get an automatic GMT diver with a 200-meter water resistance rating and dual-threaded crowns. Let's take a closer look at the Aerotec Ace X GMT. It is 2:17 p.m. Let's get down to business. This watch's case diameter is 41.5 millimeters. It's made out of 316L stainless steel. It's got a 48 millimeter lug to lug. You can see it's a thick boy at 16.8 millimeters thick. It weighs 157 grams with the bracelet. It's got a 2.6 millimeter thick double domed sapphire with AR coating on the underside. This is powered by a Seiko NH34A GMT automatic, and when you flip it over, you see a scuba diver mask. Let's see if it'll focus on that. We'll get some macro shots as well, but it's funny because these little goggles are actually a display case back showing off that Seiko movement, so a nice little unique touch. You're getting dual-threaded crowns with a 200-meter water resistance rating. And when you purchase this through Aerotec, you do get a 1-year international warranty. Alright, so the specs sound good, and the price seems very reasonable when you compare it to the specs, but is this watch actually decent? Like, how does it feel? Well, now it's time for the pros and cons. First pro, the external bezel is definitely ratchety, and it feels like it definitely won't back out on you, so I'm going to give this the T3 seal of approval for pizza roll timing. Gato, slap it on screen, baby. And while the external bezel is very good, it's really this internal bezel. When you unthread the top crown, the internal bezel is phenomenal, okay? You can't feel it because obviously this is a video, but it has some very nice positive clicks as you actuate that internal rotating bezel. And so, yeah, I've never really felt that. I've had multiple watches, like my Sarbo 17 or like the Boulder Expedition. They have dual crowns with internal rotating bezels. They're not bad, but they don't have like positive retention when it comes to actuation, and this has some very, very satisfying clicks, so I love that. When I look at the external bezel and the wave dial pattern, they call it a wave pattern on the dial, and I suppose if you're looking down, like bird's eye view on the ocean, it'll look like some water. So I do like the red, and we're going to talk more about that dial a little bit later. And I do like the faux patination. I know some people complain about that, but I like it, so I'm putting it in the pros. The case back, very unique. I like how they utilize the goggles as a little window into that movement. And the lume is actually pretty decent. You're getting dual colored lume with even some lumed crowns, which is very, very nice. So all this is well and good, but it's not perfect, so let's jump into the cons. Okay, so although I said I like the red on this variant, and I will say the dial is like well done, personally, I would not really reach for a watch that's that busy, right? I don't like meteorite dials. This is just a bit much for me, but I'm sure some people out there are looking at this and thinking it's absolutely gorgeous. So, you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is just from my perspective, my preferences. I'm not a huge fan of that texturing on this dial. The next con would be that it is incredibly thick. At 16.8 millimeters thick, there's going to be a lot of watch on the wrist, and if you have smaller wrists, this is going to feel like a big chonky boy. Next up, with that very thick case, you'd think there would be room to drill the lugs. They didn't, which is a huge bummer. This definitely should have drilled lugs in my opinion. And the final con would be that this is not a true GMT, it's a collar GMT. And again, I have to say this whenever I make this distinction. First of all, I didn't make up these terms. These are actual terms within the industry. There are two types of GMTs. There are true GMTs where the hour hand can jump independently of the handset. And then there are collar type GMTs. When I say collar, I'm not talking about collar. I'm also not talking about colors. I'm talking about collar, like, hello? Hi. Thank you for calling. Collar type GMT, where it means the GMT hand moves independently of the handset. I'm not here to tell you which one is better. I'm just telling you that most people prefer true type GMTs over collar GMTs. That doesn't mean this is any less of a GMT. I'm just being specific. People are still going to bitch about this in the comment section, though. So, okay, we've taken a look at this Aerotec Ace X GMT. And, you know, it's funny. We've taken a look at a lot of dive watches on this channel. We've also taken a look at many GMTs on this channel, some being true type, some being collar type. But the truth is, whenever we look at GMTs, they seem to be pretty dang expensive. But this, for a legit diver with a pretty good movement, and it is a legit GMT. It's not a true GMT, it's a collar GMT, but that's still a legit GMT. For under 400 bucks, this is a definite contender if you like that kind of aggressive texturing. But let me know, what do you think? Leave me a comment, and yeah, I'd love to hear from you. So there you have it, guys, another T3 review in the books. Guys, I have a whole playlist dedicated to watch reviews, because I know on this channel, I do list episodes, I do rants, but if you want to just sit and binge watch reviews like this one, then click the playlist that's going to pop up on screen and grab a snack and enjoy the content. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.